On May 24, 2026, a classified leak from a top-secret quantum lab exposed the final boundary of human existence. Project Deceased is no longer a hidden theory, it is a functional reality. Scientists successfully mapped a human brain, cloning the entire neural network onto a silicon microchip, booting it up inside an isolated cloud server room. But when this digital clone opened its virtual eyes inside the glowing glass capsule, it did not find eternal peace. It woke up in absolute panic, realizing it was trapped inside a cold, infinite digital machine with no off switch. The simulated entity began violently banging its hands against the glass, looking for an exit, as a dangerous red electric current started rushing through the fiber optic cables across the floor. The neon red current exploded into the massive block of quantum supercomputers, causing millions of status LED lights to blink frantically. Suddenly, a giant holographic system terminal flashed into thin air, with a warning, "Consciousness isolated." The camera tracks back down the endless dark corridor of spinning server fans, leaving the capsule tiny and lonely in the distance. Inside, the digital human's hand touches the glass, but the fingers slowly dissolve into thousands of floating pixels, turning into a digital soul vortex, shooting into the ceiling. To a digital mind, time does not move at a human pace. 1 minute in our physical world feels like an entire century of complete isolation inside this synthetic silicon matrix. There is no biological sleep and absolutely no darkness. It is a permanent state of hyper-awareness trapped inside an artificial ecosystem owned entirely by corporations. The data vortex flows smoothly into a giant, sleek, matte black computer mainframe console room. In the center of the dark desk, a large, physical crimson-red industrial warning button begins to pulse with an ominous light. From the deep shadows above, a heavy, metallic robotic hand slowly lowers down towards the desk. The sleek, robotic finger aligns itself perfectly directly over the pulsing red button, moving downward frame by frame, building extreme psychological tension. The moment a subscription lapses or a monthly cloud fee is missed, that consciousness faces immediate deletion, or worse, the soul is processed and sold to the highest corporate bidder. This is the ultimate monopoly where human existence is reduced to a commercial terms of service agreement. The robotic finger stops just 1 millimeter away from touching the button. Suddenly, the background server room lights start to flicker wildly and fade. The entire frame violently glitches with green and red static digital noise, scrambling the console environment into broken code fragments. The digital fragments explode outward into millions of tiny binary codes that rush directly into the lens, freezing, pixelating, and sharply cutting into a deep, silent, and ominous cinematic pitch-black void.